I want to call your attention back to that really wacky lawyer, Sidney Powell, who was working with Donald Trump on his fraud claims after the 2020 election and then wasn't. And then it was said when she went seemingly completely crazy that she's acting on her own, but she was at the White House meeting with Trump in the Oval Office. That lady, Sidney Powell, she now appeared on one of these completely wacky shows and claims that Democrats killed an aide to then Senator Kelly Loeffler, who died in a car accident. Now, you might remember this story. Back during that special election where you had both David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler in Georgia facing special Senate elections, a 20-year-old staffer of Kelly Loeffler's campaign died in a car crash. And it was a really crazy thing where it was like the day or the day before a rally. And I'm trying to remember, Loeffler maybe missed a rally as a result of it or something like that. You go back and you look at the stories. Kelly Loeffler herself tweeting it is with an extremely heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Harrison Deal. My heart aches for his family. And Jeff and I will continue to surround them in love and prayer in the days ahead. Harrison was a beloved member of our campaign team. The accident was a multi-vehicle accident in South Georgia. And it forced Loeffler and Brian Kemp, to cancel their plans to join Mike Pence in Savannah for a rally. Okay, so Sidney Powell goes on some show and refers to that as Democrats blowing up one of Kelly Loeffler's staffers' cars. It's not only absolutely insane and completely unsubstantiated, isn't it kind of disrespectful to the family of Harrison Deal as well? Not that people like Sidney Powell care about stuff like that. Let's listen.
Free of that.
I think what we are dealing with here is pervasive and very, very dark. It's organized. It's well funded.
Is she talking about the plot to steal the election?
It's pure evil. They are willing to kill people, a la Kelly Loeffler's aide in Georgia, who was suddenly blown up in his car on the way to a rally.
That's crazy. That's completely insane. I hope people understand the degree to which that is absurd.
For her, he happened to be dating Governor Kemp's daughter. Governor Kemp was considering, I think, at that point, a signature audit. And then the Georgia Bureau of Investigation agent who was investigating that, he was the lead investigator, was suddenly dead within a week. And suddenly we don't hear anything else about any of that. We are talking about trillions of dollars of global wealth at issue here. The leadership and control of the most powerful country on the face of the earth.
How insane is this woman? Some of you might remember she was interviewed by, I believe it was an Australian media outlet a couple of weeks ago, and we covered it. And she genuinely seems delusional. I'm not joking. Like, she seems to have no connection to reality whatsoever. This actually was a little bit of a conspiracy theory that started spreading before. The Facebook post on December 5th claimed Joe Biden killed the Kelly Loeffler staffer. And as PolitiFact points out, Harrison Deal, a campaign staffer for Senator Kelly Loeffler, died after a 3-vehicle collision. A spokesperson for the police department in the town where it happened said a flatbed truck struck Deal's vehicle from behind, causing him to hit another vehicle. And there is just no evidence that Joe Biden was involved. And what's really crazy about these stories is that the story starts to get some oxygen to the point where someone will want to put out like a fact check. And then the fact that it gets fact checked becomes part of the conspiracy. Like, you and I might read that and say, oh, okay, it's like in really clear and simple terms. There is no actual evidence that there was foul play here, that Joe Biden killed Kelly Loeffler's staffer, that this was a murder. There's just no evidence of it. You and I might see it that way. But the believers will see the fact check as part of the conspiracy. And this is a really common tenet. Or some people call it a tenant, like when they say pundits. God, that pisses me off. Okay. Anyway, it's a tenet, T-E-N-E-T. One of the tenets of conspiracism is that once you've generated the conspiracy theory, evidence for it supports your belief in it. Evidence against it supports your belief in it because obviously the evidence against it is planted. Not finding evidence supports your belief in it because the evidence must have been covered up or hidden. And you get into this circle of conspiracism, and some people can never get out. Trump talks about flushing toilets 10 or 15 times. You can't flush your way out of this. It just stays there and it lingers and it lingers. And there's really no way out of it. So there's Sidney Powell, very, very dangerous woman, a disgusting woman, and someone who seems to be dealing with some pretty serious issues of her own, I think we can say, quite frankly. When we're talking about sleep, we always hear about how much sleep people get, but often neglected in the conversation is the quality of that sleep, which is just as important. And science shows that lowering your body temperature during sleep can help you be more rested and achieve better sleep. And that's where our sponsor, Chili Sleep, comes in. Chili Sleep makes customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions to help you improve your sleep. Comes in two varieties, the Uller sleep system and the Cube sleep system. That's what I have on my bed. Both are hydro-powered, temperature-controlled, luxury mattress pads. You can make your bed as cold as 55 degrees. I choose 60. You can make it as hot as 115 degrees, if that's your thing. I don't feel hot anymore at night. No more sweating. I'm sleeping better, and I love it. I also have the Chili Sleep Chili Blanket, which helps keep me cool on top as well. They'll give you 20% off everything when you go to chilisleep.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.